All right. Hello, everybody. So I want to do a short video where I kind of walk through the first essay. I don't know that I'll necessarily do this for all of the essays, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a foundation, especially for the English 110 part of this. So I'm in Google Docs just because that's where I usually do my work. So what I'm going to start with is just the basics. So we'll start with our header. So student, so that would be your name. Instructor's name, English 101, 110, so the class, and then the date. So today is January 6th, January 2025. And I'm going to go up here. So I just double clicked in the header and I'm going to do student. So this would be your student, this would be your last name. And then I'm going to align it to the right. Now, if you're using something else, Microsoft Word or something like that, it should be pretty similar. Shouldn't be too much different. The kind of smaller part of this is the setup. The longer part is going to be kind of organizing our thoughts. So I'm going to insert my page numbers in the header. And sometimes I've got to do a little bit of finagling here, a little bit of reorganizing. Okay, now the last thing I need to do is double space. Okay, and I guess not the last thing, I'm going to do literary analysis. And let's do first paragraph. Okay, and I'm going to center my title. There's a lot of formatting stuff here, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. Now, there are a lot of different ways to start an essay like this. One way to do it would be to do an outline. Another way would be to do kind of a shitty first draft or a throwaway draft. I usually work in throwaway drafts. So what I'm going to do is just in real time, I haven't planned this out, start thinking about the parts of my intro paragraph, right? So I can even kind of do a little bit of maybe a combination. So let's do kind of a sort of outline here. And I'm going to use the Sneetches just because we've talked about it in class. So context, I'm going to say in 1951, Dr. Seuss published the Sneetches. And I'm just going to do this in kind of maybe even bullet points. It was is a kid's story. It's rhyming. It is illustrated. And he's a popular children's author known for things like Green Eggs and Ham and The Cat in the Hat. Now, I know these things off the top of my head, but if you wanted to do a quick search online to find out some background information, I'm okay with that. Just make sure if you are doing that, you're going to include it in your works cited. Now, summary. So I want to summarize here this story, the Sneetches. Now, I assume that most of you were unfamiliar with the Sneetches prior to this class. So what I want is a 3, maybe 4 sentence summary of the story. So in the Sneetches, there are 2 groups of creatures named Sneetches. One group has stars on their bellies. The other group has no stars. Okay, so all I'm trying to do is, again, give context for my reader. So I've got kind of the basic part, and I'm going to continue with a little bit of the plot, and I'm not going to worry about spoilers because it's not an Amazon review, right? So the star belly Sneetches do not allow the plain belly. Maybe I'll capitalize that because I think we be a proper noun. Plain belly Sneetches do not allow the plain belly Sneetches to participate in any of their games or events. The plain belly Sneetches feel left out until Sylvester McMonkey McBean shows up with his star off machine. Now I'm going to put that in quotation marks because I think that's how it's referred to in the story. The machine allows Sneetches to add or subtract their stars to fit in. By the end of the story, neither group of Sneetches can tell which is which. Okay, so I've got a little bit of my context. Let me go ahead and tab that in. There we go. Maybe one more. There, like that. Okay, I'm just doing that just for myself. Now the thesis, maybe I'm going to go with, again, I haven't practiced this. This is just a rough draft. Part of the writing process is getting our ideas together. So my thesis is going to be let's cap quotation marks because it is the title of a story. The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss reminds us that we should accept each other for who we are on the inside, not what we look like on the outside. Okay. Now, is this perfect? No, but this gives me a pretty good starting point. Now, this isn't what you would turn in for your literary analysis first paragraph. This is kind of the work that we're doing to prepare. So if you think about like a math class, in a math class, you show every step of your work. In a writing class, a lot of the time we hide all those initial steps, right? We don't send people an email that has all the various drafts. Now, this is a pretty good start, but obviously it's still kind of just in my notes. So down below here, I'm going to label this for myself, first draft. I'm going to say in 1951, famed children's author and illustrator Dr. Seuss published The Sneetches. And I'm going to leave some of these things out. The fact that I've said children's author here kind of takes care of this part, right? So I can get rid of that. The rhyming part, I don't feel is super necessary for the first part, nor the illustrated part. So I could then go into, I kind of like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this just to kind of give you an idea of how this might work. Okay, there we go. Then I'm actually just going to copy and paste my thesis down here. All right. So now I have a first draft of my first paragraph. In 1951, famed children's author and illustrator Dr. Seuss published The Sneetches. In The Sneetches, there are two groups of creatures named Sneetches. One group has stars on their bellies, and the other group has no stars. The star belly Sneetches do not allow plain belly Sneetches to participate in any of their games or events. The plain belly Sneetches feel left out until Sylvester McMonkey McBean shows up with his star off machine. The machine allows Sneetches to add or subtract their stars to fit. By the end of the story, neither a group of Sneetches can tell which is which. The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss reminds us that we should accept each other for who we are inside, not what we look like on the outside. So that is a pretty good introduction. And as you'll notice, I went ahead and I read it out loud, both for you as viewers of this video, but also for me. Reading it out loud allows me to catch things like the typo that I had here, which again, totally unintentional, but that's why we do this. Okay, so now what I could do, if this were the assignment that I wanted to turn in, I could delete my work there, and I'm gonna need to adjust this. Okay, so now I have this. Is this long or short for an intro? I'd say it's okay. There's definitely more information that I could add in here. But remember, I've got the rest of the paper to expand and provide other details. So I'll do another little video where we kind of start to get into body paragraphs again, working on this idea that it's all part of the writing process. And I just kind of want to walk through this with you all to kind of do a literary analysis real time so you can see kind of what it takes. Is this perfect? No. But it's a start, and I've got stuff on the page, and I can begin to work on the next little bit. All right. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, jokes, memes, or recipes, please let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to you all later.